Wheat, barley and rapeseed. The hangars of one of the agricultural companies in Odesa are overflowing with this year's harvest. It's the future bread, grains, everything.
How much grain is here?
It's about 80 tons. The harvested grain is specially dried from excess moisture. With a moisture meter, we measure the content of grain.
And why should it be done?
So that the grain does not get steamy and does not catch fire, and there are good seedlings. This is the first stage before the grain is sorted, both for processing for domestic market and for export, for harvesting and for the next sowing season. It is resting for the time being. Let's say it is preparing to be cleaned into seeds, and part of it will be sent to marketable wheat, and part of it will be sent to the seed material in the warehouse waiting for sowing. After drying, the grain is cleaned. It goes through the ventilation to cleaning machines, and then it goes to the sampling procedure, and finally the grain is clean.
What next? Where does it go from here?
Then we transport the clean grain to the plant by trucks. About 200 people work at this enterprise. Volodymyr has been preparing material for sowing for the last 10 years. In general, I prepare seeds for the fields. All this goes through this hole. We do seeds. And then I pickle these seeds with poison and already send them to the fields. The grains have been harvested this summer despite problems with fuel and the risk of falling into the zone of missile strikes. Here is relatively safe, agronomists say, part of the equipment they managed to buy before the start of the full-scale invasion of Russia. A new harvesting combine costs about 300,000 euros. We have 2 tractors here, New Holland. 65,000 euros each. We managed to buy them before the war. They also repair old equipment on their own. Most of the enterprises that supplied spare parts for agricultural machinery are now located in the territories temporarily occupied by Russia. Something is breaking all the time. There is not a day that something does not fail somewhere, so that many spare parts are needed. You need to search for them, because there were a lot of companies in Kherson, Mykolaiv. Somewhere someone had something bombed, somewhere someone had something happened, somewhere someone is already in the occupied territory, though they don't bring in much of this equipment. As part of the grain agreement signed in Istanbul on August the 5th, the first caravan of ships with Ukrainian grain left the port of Odesa. On board 3 bulk carriers, 57,000 tons of corn were exported to Turkey, Great Britain and Ireland. During the 9 days that the grain corridor is operating, 12 ships left Ukrainian ports, which exported more than 370,000 tons of agricultural products to 7 countries of the world, and 1 ship entered the port of Chornomorsk for loading. State enterprise Ukrainian Seaports Administration on Facebook. The grain agreement provides the provision of safe corridors in the Black Sea for the transportation of Ukrainian crops. However, the risk of provocations from Russia still remains.
At the moment, there are 5 missile carrier ships in the Black Sea area, which are equipped with 40 missiles of the same type as the Caliber. They are kept in a missile-safe area for themselves, so that we cannot hit them with our weapons. But the tactical and technical characteristics of the Caliber itself indicate that even from the distances they are able to hit throughout the territory of Ukraine.
Within the framework of the Istanbul Agreement, Ukraine plans to send more than 100 ships per month from the Black Sea ports and take out about 25 million tons of grain. Reported by Pavel Stelmach, Anastasia Zhuk, UATV News.